Hello, Aloha, Baha'i greeting to all the people of the planet. My name is Abdu'l. I am the indisputable elder of Baha'u'llah, glory of God on the planet, guardian of the planet to take care of you guys. And my mission is coming to an end pretty soon. Now, today is 18th of November, time is 11 o'clock. I promised to speak to you about this election of 2012. I did give you last time some philosophical insight, of course my opinion. Now, as I said, politics is not the forte of the Baha'is, but however the science, the political science, is something that everyone in the world is entitled to know about it, including us. But as a practical matter, we do not get involved in it. I'm going to give you my insight, my opinion about the strategy of the winning about the President Barack Obama. How did he win? So, politics in the United States is more like a pastime game, you know. Many people, they are looking at it as a football, as basketball, you know, club. They have really no reason why they are on anywhere. It's still complicated for them to understand which one really is going to help. So they've just taken them to side based on whom they don't like, and whatever they like, then they don't like, and that's how most of it is going. It's really bad. But when you look at it, at the presidency, at this in the last few months, always the last president determines who the future president is. President Clinton was an excellent president for the United States, you know, of America, not for anywhere else. He was a good human being as well. But because he didn't know how to have sex, and people were so, you know, oblivion of what the consequence of bad president is, they just felt that he's a good guy, but, you know, why don't we go towards somebody who's a bit more religious. His act created a religious president, put the people in the religious mood, and they brought Bush into power, and then of course they got devastated by it. And same thing with Mr. Bush. He was not a bright man in any which way to look at this guy. Again, he's not a bad guy. He's racist. There's not a bad guy still, aside from being racist. He has these crazy notions and ideas that let the economy go, let all this war stars and all that jazz. So people came to themselves that, hey, we have to really be careful in electing whoever is going to become the president. And that led to the Obama phenomenon. There was nobody in the United States of America to defend Mr. Clinton, that this guy, in his sexual affair, must have been very innocent. My God, he could have ordered sex from most of the presidents and kings in the world anywhere. He could go just have it, anything he wanted. Why would in an Oval Office? It just shows that this guy was not into these things at all. He just overcome by his testosterone and got into something that he should have not. Just shows that this man has not done it before. So inexperienced. But people, they don't think about these things, and they judged him, and they got judged. God says, oh, you don't like him? Bush will give you Bush. Bush is, you know, good religious fellow, and they got the sting of it. Of course, what Bush, we all know that in Florida, definitely he did not win over Al Gore. And I don't know how Americans, they live with their own conscience that that the whole process was stayed by the Republican in the federal court, and when it came back, the time was over, so he really didn't win. But Al Gore could have won with a lot bigger numbers, so it would have not had to come to these small numbers. Now, let's talk about this Mr. Obama. Why did he win? In my opinion, the number one factor in him winning is just simply because he was two-race kid. He was the son of a black, and then his mother is white. He's a black guy with white software in his head, being an American, of course. So the color represents the color of suppression. All the blacks, all the minorities, I don't know, about 50 million, they just go say, wait, for his colors were right in. They don't need much other reasons. White people, on the other hand, they say this guy went to Harvard, definitely must have a great mother, definitely a good educator, a very sensible individual, who put the kid into these directions. And then onward, the grandmother and grandfather, which again, they were white people, helped him out. So for white people, he's white enough. So these two simple superficial things, which a lot of people go for it, was one of the reasons, really. So the fact that he was from both races of black and white, both colors, and the fact that he was educated very well, and was brought up, raised by their grandfather, grandmother on the white side, and the mother especially. And number three is that America was looking for this. The collective was looking for a solution to the Bush problem. I was looking, there was a vacancy for Obama, but the whole collective was not there, which means there was this democratic mood was into, Obama. But Republicans knew they were not a part of collective, or they were a part of the collective. Actually, they were. Obama, in reality, was chosen by the Republicans. Some people, get outraged when they hear this, including my American customer here. He said, "You are totally talking rubbish. That's garbage talk. I never vote for Obama. He cheated." I said, "I see." So he was telling me that, how did we elect him? I told him that I was looking at a show in TV. It's called Dog Eat Dog. The dog eat dog, this hostess asked a participant in the TV show game to choose the loser. Give a task to a person who will not be able to do it. Choose the loser. And that's exactly why the Republican got on the side of the Democrats to elect not a winner, but a loser. So, in the primary elections, if you guys remember it well, it's more than clear from the very beginning, Hillary Clinton was way ahead, way ahead of Obama. No one could even in the wildest dream imagine this young fellow just came from Harvard, no money really. I don't know, all his money would have not even been $1 million, less than that. How could he come and win over Hillary Clinton? He could have not, naturally, but the Republican decided to help him out. How did this happen? Because they had a strategy. They thought in the general election, if Hillary Clinton is going to match up in a contest with Senator McCain of Arizona, she might win. Because she's woman, she's from South, very smart first lady, McCain older, she might have a chance to win over Obama, over McCain. So Republicans decided to participate in the primary and a strategical vote. You know, in a places unthinkable. They voted for Obama. Even Texas draw basically 50-50. So all these southern people who totally are against Republicans in general, not liking blacks at all, they voted for Obama to win. Why? They look at him the sacrificial lamb. They said let him win over Hillary Clinton. Now in the general election, it's the young, inexperienced, black Obama versus the national hero, old politicians, McCain. They were right in the beginning. If I remember it, at one point, McCain was well about a double digit, 11 point ahead of Obama. But something was coming from the past that nobody knew what that is. I knew it when I was watching the politics. This was a huge torrent, a flop, a catastrophe was coming down, rushing, taking over, entirely eroding all the bases of the Republican. Started by President Bush. Now, he wasn't liked at all. It came to the point that only 25% American, they voted for him. Basically, first he got sick, and then he gave the sickness to everyone in America, and they elected him, and then they all found out, okay, let's go back to common sense. This fellow is not a president. Get rid of him. But he did something really awful and bad that is can be contributed to the present problem that we're having in the United States. A lot of companies had given bad mortgage, from Merrill Lynch to Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, Lehman Brothers. They were fighting over each other. They're giving a lot of mortgages to the people who were not qualified. Therefore, they started to falter the mortgage because they didn't have the money. Okay. So at this point, Freddie Mac and Fannie Mae, big mortgage company, they go to Bush and say that we're in trouble, we're going down. Bush and the Republican, they did not know this is going to take precedent, and they should think about this very well. They didn't. They start to pay, I believe, about $150 billion or more later on to Freddie Mac and Fannie Mae. And as soon as they did this, the rest of the crowd, they come in. Merrill Lynch, you know, which was bought by the Citibank, went to the point even AIG is the biggest, the mother of all of them, they were all having trouble. And they opened up, hey, you know, if they could get it, why can't we get it? Just the begging started. First the two ones, they came in, they worked their way, and for the others. And all of them, they said, we are in trouble, and the government comes in. This was coming on. So, and it was just a few weeks before the election, I believe, that it took over America to the point that we heard Merrill Lynch, it was Lehman Brothers went down, and then it was the AIG, and McCain had no clue. He said, oh, our economy is framed with it, okay, and this and that. I'm not an economist, I'm a whatever, war president, and I'm good with defense and all that. So American, they saw that, you know what, this guy doesn't know anything. Thanks to Republican, they chose the loser, which would be Obama. But now the things turn around. Now we know there is no choice. McCain is not the choice. So if there's no choice, what do? The winner is whoever is left out. Obama was not elected in a sense of a person that was a real choice. They were led, Americans were led into it. It came to the point that they got him. I call him an accidental president. So, this is the reason that this guy got elected, accidental president. Now, as soon as he becomes president, Republicans, they knew what they're done. They tried all kind of ways, and the more they did, the worse it became. But this gentleman, which I personally, as a human being, I like him. I get a good, very good aura about Mr. Obama. I think he's the most competent politicians of all. I don't think there's anything bigger on the planet than him right now. He's a huge politician. Unfortunately, most of this power revolves around himself and his own elections. What he can do for US or the world, it is beyond his leagues. This matter is way bigger than Obama, and Obama is to fix it. But for himself, he has served himself well. This man has studied the entire American history. He knows it all. He must have studied every federal court cases dealing with Constitution and the laws. He knows it all. He's very, very smart, beyond your imaginations. So what did he do? 4 years ago, before he becomes the president, he was already planning to win again. Believe me, I wasn't on his team to give him any guidance. I did try to make Romney and others aware of what's going on, but they're so stupid, imbeciles, that their missionaries, I want to explain that. They're beyond the game. I haven't seen anybody as naive, as loosely as Mr. Romney and the Republican in general in the United States at this point of time. This party is a lost party. So, he was planning to win 4 years ago. Everyone who's in a little bit of the politics of the US, he knows, Republican, they cannot vote, they cannot win. In California, New York, all the western states. There's not much left in the East, except for, some serious swing states, which they can go either way. One of them is Florida. One of them is Ohio, even Michigan. Okay, especially Ohio. So, first of all, the Democrats, heading with Obama, they decided to block the Republican to win in Ohio and in Michigan and all those places. What should they do? They started to lend money, the car makers, so all the people in Ohio, in Michigan, they felt they owe to this president because he rescued automobile industry. There was other industries to help too, but he was particularly keen into Ohio, Detroit. Detroit, could be swing state, but most of them is Democrats. But Ohio is not. But a lot of jobs were saved in Ohio. That was enough. That was enough. And Romney never knew about this thing, isn't it? So he was blocked way before even he comes into power. any Republican. Second thing was that, in their strategy of winning, was that they knew in Florida there are Latinos. Not as many as the rest of the Floridan, but enough that they could pry into the state to swing either way. That's what minority do. Minority cannot get elected, but they become the bar. They pry, send the weight either way. They can send a state to go either way. They themselves did not get elected, but they can design the election, decide the elections. Because all that 10-15%, if they go other way, that's it. So he has started to have a lot of good policy, a lot of good talks in winning the Latinos. Long ago, 4 years ago. Obama and his team were studying very well that with the matter of the women, they went something very, very particularly important. Contraceptive, free contraceptive for women. There was some big things from the diocese of the churches, of Catholic churches, but the Catholic churches are unaware that although people are Catholic, they don't trust their churches. They don't. They trust the doctrine, but not any diocese. All of it so doubtful about them, they don't leave their children even 10 minutes with one of them, because they have a history of abusing children. So, especially with the women, Catholics, they don't allow the woman to become even a priest. So, being Catholic is not guaranteed that all Catholic would follow the church. Not necessarily. Not all the time at all. Not on many, many issues. So, again, Republican, they thought that's not the case. They brought this up and that up. They made the big thing. But Obama and his team, they had a great polling situations, and they knew majority of the Catholics included, they are okay with this. It's not the issue of, abortion, because that's, it goes either way. Contraceptive, free contraceptive for women, all the women, Republican, they did not see that. They got a good chunk of the women again on that issue. Same thing comes with the youth, same thing comes with the gays. They knew who are the people, where they are. They chose their policies long ago, before there was an election. Everything was intact. I said to Romney team, over my dead body, if you could win, it is impossible for you. You will not be able, Mr. Romney, to fight the gorilla with the bare hand, I said. You cannot. You're too small. There are a lot of things that have to be changed about you and about your policy and strategy. I said a few things. But, they're dink and doink. They don't think I'm anybody. Body means the guy was the money, eh? They think with my thought and with my smartness, I could not have the money. I didn't have enough money because I don't want to. I like my freedom. A man like me has money, then I have all kind of supporters and all kind of followers. The kind that I don't want, you see. So, but I have enough for myself, trust me. I'm okay. I stay in the world totally balanced. I'm not rich, but by no means I'm also poor. I'm exactly where I want to be. The economy was the simplest things. I fixed it when I came in Canada in 1984. I fixed it in a matter of 6 months. 6 months. The Baha'is, they were thinking that I will be the biggest tycoon in the United States and in Canada and all that. One of them was always fighting with me when he saw that in 6 months in Canada, all of a sudden I bought land, I bought lot, I built a house. He was just dazzled, bedazzled, bamboozled. He didn't know what's going on. And he was trying to tell me that, oh, you could do this. And I told him, no, I'm not interested. in this kind of economical plans that you have. On these plans, Mr. Nesbitt is going to take 100% of my life. I am not willing to give 100% of my life to the money at all. Neither should you, nor should anybody. There are so many other important things for me. Money takes 10%, maybe 5% of my thought. I said, that's it. So, but you know, when you don't have money, people, they think you're nobody. I said to Bill Gates once that you're asking all the wealthy and rich people in the world to contribute their money to give. Have you ever thought, Mr. Gates, what made you to have the money? Your mind, your thought, your genius when you were a kid. I remember. Why don't you ask the wealth of the mind from those in the United States, lots of them too, to share opinions and distribute those to people like you that you do not know, sir? And there was no answer from them also. But I had to say these things. You see, this is my prerogative. There's a story they say in Islam that Jesus Christ one day was going with the disciples, and he said, "Hey disciples, stop here, I have to go to this particular house, somebody's waiting for me." So disciples were happy, said, "Oh God, this man is waiting for Christ and we have another followers." Christ said, "No, this man is going to chase me with his shovel and throw me out of his yard." They told him, "Why do you go there?" He said, "But he's been crying so long to have the Messiah to come. I have to go." Of course, Christ, you know, dressing the way he was, by the standard of today, he would be called a psychotic fellow, he would be called dysfunctional, he would be called a hippie, he would be called absolutely crazy individual, has no home, dressed like a raggy, and then say sometimes great things and has a great heart and people feel sympathy, but they say, you know, okay. So he goes and tells to the guy, "I am the Messiah, the Prince that you were waiting." The guy says, "How dare you say this?" And he took his shovel and chased Christ, and even took the shovels and to remove the footstep of Christ anywhere in his land, because it was such a blasphemous thing to him, because he was waiting for a prince, you know, the way he was thinking. This happened in the Baha'i faith too. You know, many Jewish from Germany, they went to Israel. Before even Israel was formed, in 1800, they were thinking Messiah is supposed to come right here in Israel. It's all the prophecies. And there is some place, you know, still there. Baha'u'llah was in one of these places. And where the Lord was supposed to be there. But he was not received well at all. They thought this Iranian is, you know. The German guy thinking Christ is blonde, eh? So they couldn't accept him. It's kind of my story now. Yeah, the power that I have as an elder is beyond, immeasurably beyond your imagination, mankind. It is so big. I can see the society of man for well about 1,000 years ahead of me. Things that is going to happen which you and your generation could not bear even 1 minute of it. Okay? But you will have to learn to adjust yourself. Don't attack homosexuals. That's nothing compared to what's going to come. So, but why don't I have enough money and why am I not so famous? Because the fame and money will bring a lot of wrong people. The people that they think that, oh, they are supporters. But actually they're not. I know they're not. But they think they are. Because they go with media. They go with fame. They go with money. And Baha'u'llah does not accept that. Neither do I. We know this. So this is why it's been put on the YouTubes, to the credit of those Google brothers, whoever they are, for you to see it. So if there are some truly individuals that are looking for a truth, they all have a sound mind and they know what faith and God and everything else. For God's sake, I put 400 videos for you. They would know it. They come. Those are the real ones. Anything else is marginal, it's provisional, is fan, is follower, it's no good. Not in the central core where I am. We need seriously serious people. Few people ask me one day in Toronto that, where would your teaching take us? I told them to your death. I says, you're serious? I said, absolutely. And what will happen to you? I told him, I'm included. If 10 of you come, I'm going to prepare you to die. And I will show you the truth beyond your imagination, beyond this material. I will show you the next level of existence. Then you find out it's all transient here. That's so stupid. Possessions of anything. My God, it's so stupid. So stupid. For a man who's changing every day, how could he possess anything? You can't even hang on your ideas. Would you like a 2010 change in 30 and 35? How would you be able to even decide for your spouse at age 20 when you're 40 and 50? You see, it's difficult. So, I said, that's where it's going to take us. If I teach you what the truth is, we all have to accept to die. They said, why? I said, this is the situation. Mankind always has done that. They're not killing me right now because I'm not good enough. Because I don't have enough supporters. But if I have some serious supporters, I will die. Not by some organization like CIA, for example. No. Just ordinary guys in the corner of the street. They come right out and kill us. Churches, they will attack me. Drug dealers, they will come and kill me. Police won't do it. Politicians won't. Governments won't. What I do, they all like it. But if the drug users are seriously gone away, people are not sick anymore, psychiatrists and psychologists shops are closed, and people are law-abiding individuals and they're good people and they're very healthy, police is happy with it, I believe, politicians, they like it. But church doesn't like it. They say this guy's taking over. They will come and kill us. So let's not go on the side right now. We were talking about Obama. So these are basically what made Obama to win. He had a plan. He knew what it means. How Republicans were out of completely order. They've never been in shambles as they are right now. This video is a simple, small video. I brought you to understand that I, the elder of God, not foolish. I exactly know. But does Obama knows everything? Is the ideal president? No way. No way. Never. Ideal cannot be even understood by him. There are people like him around him. Or you guys yourself, unfortunately. Ideal is something that when you're forced, when you're getting disintegrated, when you're dissolving, the necessity kicks in, then you realize it. You know what to do. It's always like that. They can't see even where the economy in the US is. I'll give you one example I've given you before. People of the United States are the same number. People are not dead. that they're not buying things. Consumers are there, need and greeds are there, factories that they make goods are there, countries in the world that they would buy them are there. Now what's wrong? Simply, people of the United States, many of them, good number of them right now, they have lost their credit during this mortgage business. Uncle Sam, if Obama, team of Obama is really for America, they have to step forward and they say, hell with the elections, hell with losing. I'm going to go up right now and I'm going to help individual people. I'm going to bail them out. I'm going to guarantee them. I will enforce and stand behind them, let them to buy houses, cars. The economy will be boosted. Simple. They listen to me, they say, where's this guy coming from? What is he talking about? I am the guy who's not talking about me and my benefit and my profit. You are the guy you're thinking about yourself right now. You see? Republicans, Mr. Boehner's right now, these stupid imbeciles. My God, the degree of stupidity or so. They don't understand. When you reduce taxes from the wealthy and giving it naturally to the poor, taxes are not taken from these people to go somewhere else. So if the money, in other words, is gone from wealthy to the poor, well then poor has more buying power. Isn't it? And if the poor can buy, then the economy is revolving. At the end of the day, capitalists again collect whatever they've given anyways. So whenever the economy goes down, rich people has to come and give a lot of it. Why? Because poor people are your prey. No matter what we do, we will not be able to kill the capitalist, who's smart, who's born to win. Others are born to lose. These guys are the hunter, and these are the hunted. They're the prey. So you want to get rid of all the prey in the forest, and there is no food for you too. So give back to the poor so they can thrive on account of your abstinence, your consumption, your huge greed. Maybe they can thrive and they can go back and fish again. Do you know this? No. That's what all the politicians in Turkey and in Iran and in Iraq and all these Middle East countries are the same way. They don't understand that if they pay taxes to their government and giving to the people, only make the people stronger. The people have buying power. Who's going to be the winner? Them. Right now they sell 10 cars because nobody buys it. But if they start to give people, they don't sell 10 cars, that's 100 cars. Out of 100, they make 1,000 each. It's 100,000. But right now they sell 10 cars and they want to make 30,000 out of a car. Just example. So it's only what? 30,000? 300,000 as opposed to a million? So the margin is high, people don't buy it. If you stop the margin and go for less, then people are able to buy it. And once they buy, the economy goes up. Does Obama knows this? No. If he knew it, and his team right now would defend people. The capitalists of America. If you want to keep capitalism going, come on, give money back to the poor. Increase their buying power. Because they are your prey no matter what happens. At the end of the day, you are the vampires. And they have to, play the game of losing to you. But right now you're tightening. You want to pay, not to pay tax, not to make the rich people. Oh, the rich people have to, if they're smart, anyways, they're not. A rich man is never smart. If he was smart, he would not become that rich. One that has become smart through the evolution is Bill Gates. He knows that he shouldn't be that smart, that rich. He's smart now. He's getting a little bit smart. Start to give to Americans. You know, Walmart, all these businesses enable people to buy it. When they buy, economy goes up. Believe me, that's all it is. So, strategy of winning, phenomenon of Obama, the man who helped himself well. Helping US, it's a different story. See you.